Aaron Cross was a human soldier who had seen too many battles. His body was full of scars, and his mind was tired of war. After the last space war between humans and the alien race called Elvarians, he was moved to a recovery facility on a peaceful alien planet named Velmora. The Galactic Alliance had ordered peace, and Aaron had no choice but to follow the rules. He was sent to live with one of the Elvarian military leaders, Commander Rena, who had fought beside him during the war. Commander Rena had two sisters. She lived with her younger sister Sela in a large house built into the glowing cliffs of Velmora. The house had smooth white walls, silent AI systems, and doors that opened without a sound. It looked beautiful. But something always felt strange to Aaron. It was too perfect, too quiet, too controlled. Rena was kind and respectful. She treated Aaron like a hero and gave him full freedom in the house. But Sela was different. She watched Aaron with curious eyes, always asking questions about Earth, about humans, about how human families worked. Aaron answered her with short words. He didn't like her tone. Something about her made him feel like a lab rat. One evening, Rena received a sudden call from the Galactic base. She had to leave for a 5-day mission to the outer colonies. Before leaving, she said to Aaron, "Rest well. You're safe here." Sela stood behind her, silent and smiling. That night, Aaron sat in his room reading a report from Earth's command. He was still in uniform, half ready for danger. He heard soft footsteps outside his door. Then, a soft click. He turned his head. The door had locked from the outside. He stood up, tried to open it. "But it was sealed AI open door," he said. But there was no response. The system had been overridden. Then he heard a voice behind him. "Don't be afraid, Aaron." It was Sela. She was already in the room. He hadn't heard her come in. She wore a dark blue robe, her eyes glowing in the soft room light. She walked closer. "You are the only pure human in this region," she said. "Your DNA is rare and strong. It's time we continue the line." Aaron stepped back, confused and angry. "I said no. I don't want this. Get out." Sela smiled. "You think you have a choice?" she whispered. The walls around them began to glow red. The AI announced. Security lockdown initiated. All the doors in the house shut. Windows sealed. Aaron was trapped inside the forbidden room. He looked around, searching for a weapon, but everything had been removed earlier. He was unarmed. Sela stood calmly, as if she had done this before. "You don't understand," she said. "Our kind is dying. We need you to survive. My sister knows everything." She agreed to this. Aaron froze. "Rena knows?" He asked. "Yes." Sela nodded. "She chose you. You are strong, noble, and brave. We want those traits in our future generation." Aaron shook his head. "You see me as a tool, not a person." Sela walked to a wall panel and pressed her hand on it. A secret drawer opened, revealing a tablet. She showed it to him. It displayed files marked Project Human Father. His name, blood type, DNA scans, all of it was there. It had started months ago, maybe even before he left Earth. Aaron's heart pounded. He had trusted Rena. She had saved his life during the war, but now it felt like everything was part of a trap. He was not a guest. He was a target. "I won't do it," he said firmly. "Even if you lock me in forever." Sela stared at him. Her eyes were calm but cold. "You will, eventually," she said, "because soon. You'll see there's more at stake than just yourself." Suddenly, the lights dimmed, and the wall behind Sela began to slide open, revealing a dark passageway. Aaron hadn't seen that door before. "This is where the truth begins," Sela said softly. "Come or stay. The choice is yours, but time is not." Aaron hesitated. His training told him to fight, but his curiosity told him to look. What was behind that secret wall? What were they hiding? He took one step, toward it, eyes locked on the shadows inside. And then the door closed behind him, sealing him in deeper than before. Aaron Cross stood in the hidden passage behind the wall. The air was cold, the lights were low, and everything smelled like metal and secrets. He walked slowly, every step echoing through the tight hallway. Behind him, the wall had closed, trapping him further inside the alien house. Ahead of him, the unknown waited. The tunnel led him to a strange room deep under the house. It didn't look like part of a home. It looked like a lab, shining glass walls, long control panels, and screens full of alien text. In the center of the room was something that made Aaron stop breathing for a second. It was a chamber, glowing with blue light. Inside it floated a small body, no older than 5 years. It was a girl. Her eyes were closed. But she was alive. Tubes were connected to her skin. Her hair was black like Aaron's, but her ears were sharp like an Elverian. Aaron walked closer. A screen next to the pod showed her name. Subject 07 Hybrid Class, Human, Elverian. Below it, it said, Father, Aaron Cross. He stepped back in shock. What is this? He whispered. What the hell is this? Scylla's voice came from behind him, calm and cold. She's your daughter. Aaron turned sharply. I never. You said you needed me for bonding, but this already happened. Scylla nodded. You were wounded after the war in a medical pod. That's when we collected your DNA. You used me without consent, Aaron growled. This is not science. This is slavery. Scylla stepped closer. We are dying, Aaron. Our race lost fertility centuries ago. Artificial births failed. Cloning failed. Our last hope is mixing with something stronger, something pure. Humans, Aaron said. That's why you joined the Galactic Alliance. Not for peace, but for breeding. Scylla didn't deny it. Peace was a part of it, but survival was the main reason. Aaron stared at the girl in the pod. Her chest rose and fell gently. Her skin was pale, but she looked healthy. Something about her made his heart ache. She was innocent in all this. She doesn't deserve this, he whispered. No child does. Scylla's expression changed slightly. She was the first successful birth. She is special, smarter than any child. Stronger too. Aaron's mind raced. He had to get out, had to tell someone. He remembered the emergency beacon given to him by Earth's command. It was hidden inside the pouch of his recovery belt upstairs. If he could reach it, he could call for extraction. I want to go back to my room, he said calmly, trying to hide the anger in his voice. I need time, Scylla nodded. Of course, she said. But remember, if you tell anyone, you may risk her life. The council watches everything. Aaron said nothing, but inside. His decision was clear. He would never let this continue. He had seen enough darkness in war. He wouldn't be part of this nightmare. Back in his room. The door unlocked again as if nothing had happened. The AI greeted him softly, pretending all was normal. Aaron walked to his bag and dug through it quickly, finding the small beacon. He activated it with a thumb scan. A red light blinked, sending out a signal to the nearest Earth embassy ship, but as soon as he activated it, the room lights turned red. The AI voice changed. Unauthorized signal detected, alerting household authority. Aaron cursed under his breath and hid the beacon under the bed. He grabbed a small metal lamp and stood ready. But the door opened and it wasn't Scylla. It was Rena, back from her mission early. She entered slowly, her eyes calm but serious. We need to talk, she said. Aaron stared at her, unsure if he could trust her now. You knew, didn't you? He asked, about the lab. About the child. Rena didn't lie. She nodded once. Yes. Why? Aaron asked, his voice full of pain. I trusted you. You were my commander. I still am, Rena said. And I did this to protect our people and yours. You made a child for me without my will, he snapped. That's not protection, that's a violation. She is alive, Rena said softly. She's the future. If the council finds out you rejected the project, they'll erase her. Aaron's hands dropped. He realized he wasn't just a soldier in a political game. He was now a father in a war no one talked about. What do they want from me now? He asked. Rena looked away. More, she said. More hybrids, more children. They want you to be a father to an entire generation. Aaron sat down, feeling like the walls were closing in again. He had come to heal, but now he was part of a secret war between races. Between survival and freedom, the lights flickered. A message came through the unidentified ship approaching. Rena's eyes widened. You called for help. Aaron stood up. I had to, he said. And I won't stop. Rena didn't stop him. She just said, then be ready, because they're coming for all of us. The alarms echoed through the house, red lights flashing on every wall. Aaron Cross stood frozen as the sound of ships filled the air above. Rena looked out the glass window. Her voice steady but cold. They found us, she said. You've brought them here. Aaron didn't answer. His heart was beating fast. He hadn't meant to put anyone in danger. But after what he had seen in the lab, he couldn't just stay silent. Somewhere below the house, that little girl, the hybrid child, was still trapped in her pod. Alive, helpless, and innocent, Rena turned toward him. The Earth ship won't save you, she said. They're not coming for rescue. They're coming for control. Aaron frowned. What do you mean? Rena's expression didn't change. Do you really think Earth doesn't know about the hybrid program? She asked. They've been part of it since the beginning. Aaron felt like the ground vanished under his feet. That's impossible, he said. Humans would never. They would, Rena interrupted. They already did. Scylla appeared from the hallway, her eyes glowing in the red light. The council is locking the outer gates, she said. No one leaves until the meeting is done. Aaron's voice was sharp. Meeting? What meeting? Scylla looked at Rena. Then back at Aaron. The council wants to finalize the next stage of project. Human father. They need your full genetic mapping. Aaron took a step back. You won't get it, he said. Not from me, but Scylla only smiled. We already have it. Aaron? Everything you've done since the war, your blood, your samples. Your medical scans, they belong to us. The words hit him like bullets. He had fought for peace, only to become a prisoner of science. A name on a screen. Rena placed her hand on a panel. And the floor opened, revealing a spiral stairway going down into the shadows. Follow me, she said. You need to see the truth before you decide what to do next. Aaron didn't trust her. But curiosity and anger pulled him forward. He followed her down. Scylla behind them, the air grew colder as they went deeper. And the hum of machines grew louder at the bottom. The tunnel opened into a massive underground chamber, much larger than the lab he had seen before. There were rows of pods, hundreds of them, glowing faintly blue. Inside each pod was a small figuresome human. Some alien, something else entirely. Aaron's chest tightened. How many? He asked, his voice low. 73, Rena said. All hybrids. All alive. Aaron stepped closer to one of the pods. Inside was a child with silver eyes and brown skin. The tag said, Subject 12, Earth male status, developing. He turned to Rena. You said this was to save your race. But this is a farm. Rena's voice trembled for the first time. It began with good intentions, but the council saw power in it. They want to create a new species, one that can serve both worlds. Aaron clenched his fists. And you help them? I helped them because I had no choice, Rena said. You think you understand war, Aaron, but this is worse. This is survival. A faint sound broke through the silence, a small cry. Aaron looked toward the corner of the chamber. Where one pod was glowing brighter than the rest, the glass door slowly opened with a hiss, and a little girl stepped out, trembling. It was the same child he had seen before. She looked at Aaron with wide silver eyes and whispered a single word. "Father." Aaron froze. His throat went dry. He didn't know what to say. The child walked closer. Her steps weak but steady. She touched his hand. Her skin was warm. Real, alive. Sela smiled. "She knows you." Aaron turned on her. "You made her like this. She made herself," Sela said softly. "She woke before schedule. She heard your voice through the system and came to life." The child looked around, confused and scared. "Why is everyone angry?" she asked. "Where is Mother?" Aaron knelt in front of her. "Who is your mother?" he asked. The child pointed at Rena. "She said she was." Rena looked away. Shame in her eyes. Aaron felt his heart twist. Everything was tangled. He was not just a soldier anymore. He was part of something far more dangerous. Suddenly, the floor shook. A deep explosion rumbled from above. The AI's voice filled the room. "Warning, human vessel approaching. All personnel evacuate immediately." Scylla grabbed the girl's hand. "We have to hide her," she said. "If the Earth soldiers see her, they'll take her away." Aaron pulled her back. "No one's taking her anywhere," he said. "She's coming with me." Rena stepped forward. "You can't protect her, Aaron. Not from both sides." "I'll try," he said. "That's more than you ever did." He grabbed the child and ran toward the stairway. The alarms screamed louder. Red lights flashed like fire. Scylla shouted something behind him, but her voice was lost in the chaos. As he reached the upper floor, part of the ceiling collapsed. Dust and sparks raining down. The AI shouted again. Intruders detected through the broken window. Aaron saw lights in the sky, Earth ships descending. Fast and armed, he looked at the child beside him, her small hand gripping his tightly. "It's going to be okay," he whispered, even though he didn't believe it. Behind him, the house shook again, and as he turned toward the door, he saw something that froze him in place. Rena was standing there, holding a weapon aimed directly at him. Her voice was calm, but her eyes were full of sorrow. "You can't run," she said. "They'll kill her." Or worse, Aaron didn't move. The child hid behind him. The house lights flickered, and for a moment, everything went silent. Then Rena said, "There's one way out. But you'll never be the same again." Aaron stood frozen as Rena pointed the weapon at him. The child clung to his side, trembling. Her eyes searched Aaron's face for safety, for answers, but he had none. The red lights blinked across the hallway, alarms screaming from every corner. And somewhere outside, Earth's ships were landing. "You said you cared about peace," Aaron whispered. "But you're ready to shoot me." Rena's hands shook slightly, but her eyes stayed locked on him. "You don't understand what's at stake," she said. "If they take her, she becomes a weapon, not a child. You already made her one," Aaron snapped. "You used my DNA without permission. You grew children in pods like machines. You lied to me." The child looked up at him. "Why is Mother angry?" she asked quietly. Aaron lowered himself to her level, holding her shoulders gently. "Because the people we trusted are not who they said they were." Rena stepped back, the weapon dropping slightly. "I didn't lie," she said. "I kept the truth until you were ready to hear it." "I was never going to be ready for this," Aaron said. "I'm a soldier, not a father, not like this." Suddenly, the AI's voice returned, multiple breach points detected. "Earth's forces are inside the perimeter." Sela ran up the stairs, her face pale. "They're moving fast. We have 10 minutes, maybe less." Aaron turned to her. "We have to leave now." Rena didn't move. "There's only one way out," she said. "The hidden escape tube under the central chamber." Aaron narrowed his eyes. Where does it lead? To the old transport bay. It's offline but still connected to the surface, Rena replied. But you'll need a power core to activate it. Scylla pulled a glowing blue crystal from her belt. Already got one. Rena lowered the weapon and threw Aaron a small map chip. Take her. Get her out of here. You're not coming, Aaron asked. I can't, Rena said. They'll think I fought you. It'll buy you a few minutes. Aaron didn't know if he could trust her, but right now, he had no choice. He lifted the child into his arms, her head resting on his shoulder. Hold tight, he whispered. They rushed down the hall. Past broken walls and flashing lights, the house was shaking. The Earth troops were getting closer. Inside the central chamber, Scylla moved fast, sliding the pod units aside to reveal a circular hatch beneath the floor. She placed the power core into a socket, and the hatch opened with a loud hiss. A long vertical tube stretched down into the darkness, filled with glowing cables and metal rungs. Go, Scylla said. I'll cover the entrance. Aaron looked back at her. Why are you helping me now? Scylla gave a bitter smile. Because I see now that what we're doing isn't saving our kind, it's destroying what's left of it. He nodded once, then climbed into the tube with the child. The metal was cold, the path tight. But the child didn't cry. She was quiet and strong. After several minutes of climbing, they reached a small round door. Aaron scanned the map chip, and it slid open, revealing a dusty old launch room. Broken ships lined the walls. Half covered in cables and dust, one pod still had power. A small two-seater marked Earth-class escape. Aaron placed the child inside and started the launch sequence. As he prepared the systems, the child looked at him. Are you my real father? She asked. Aaron paused. I didn't choose to be, he said. But I'll protect you like one. Her tiny hand reached for his. And in that moment, something inside Aaron shifted. He wasn't just a soldier anymore. The launch panel blinked green. Ready for ignition, the system said. But just before Aaron could start the pod, the door behind them slammed open. A group of Earth soldiers in black armor entered, their weapons raised. Step away from the child, their leader ordered. Aaron stood in front of her, arms wide. She's not going with you. She belongs to the program, the soldier said. Stand down. She belongs to herself, Aaron replied. And I won't let you turn her into an experiment. One of the soldiers aimed his rifle, but before he could fire, another voice shouted through their comms, abort mission. Commander Rena has called a ceasefire. Everyone paused. The soldier stepped back, confused. Aaron used the moment to hit the launch button. The pod door closed, engines flaring to life. Engaging stealth mode, the system said. The escape pod blasted out through the ceiling hatch. Shooting up toward the stars, the Earth soldiers fired. But missed. Inside the pod, Aaron held the child close. Both of them shaken but alive. What now? The child asked. We find somewhere safe, Aaron said. Somewhere far from programs, soldiers, and lies. As the stars rushed past them, Aaron looked at her again. Her silver eyes stared out the window, curious and calm. She doesn't deserve to be a secret, he whispered. She deserves to choose her own life back on the surface. Rena stood in the ruins of the house, watching the pod vanish into space. A faint smile touched her lips, and she whispered to herself, loyalty or blood, in the end, I chose both. Asterisk, the escape pod flew through the black ocean of space, small and fast, leaving behind the burning alien planet of Valmora. Aaron Cross sat in the pilot seat, his hands tight on the controls. Beside him sat the little girl, her silver eyes glowing faintly in the dark cabin. The stars moved fast outside, silent and endless. Aaron didn't speak for a long time. He was still trying to understand everything that had happened. He had fought in wars, seen cities fall, and survived death itself. But nothing felt as heavy as the silence between him and the child. Are we going home? She asked quietly. her voice soft like a whisper. Aaron looked at her home. He repeated, "I don't even know what that means anymore." She tilted her head. "Earth," she said. "You said we're going to Earth." Aaron nodded slowly. "Yes, we're going to Earth, but it might not be what you imagine." The pod's computer spoke suddenly. "Warning, long-range sensors detect pursuit." To Elvarian ships approaching from the rear, Aaron's heart jumped. "They're not giving up," he muttered. He started pressing buttons. "Hold on tight." The pod shook violently as he activated the stealth drive. The stars blurred, turning into white streaks. And then everything went quiet again. The girl grabbed his arm. "Are we safe now? For a little while," he said. "But we can't rest yet." She looked at him. "Why are they chasing us?" Aaron sighed. "Because you exist," he said. "Because they want to control what you are. And I won't let them." She blinked, trying to understand. "I didn't ask to be born." He looked at her sadly. "I know, and none of this is your fault." After some time, the stars around them changed color. The pod entered a new system, and a large blue planet filled the window. Earth. It looked calm and beautiful. Clouds floating over oceans and continents. Aaron smiled faintly. "We made it," but the computer interrupted. "Alert, unidentified Earth defense signal detected." "Incoming transmission," a voice came through the speakers. "Unregistered vessel. Identify yourself immediately." Aaron hesitated. "This is Sergeant Aaron Cross. United Earth Forces ID code 7A13. Requesting emergency landing clearance." There was a long silence. Then the voice replied, "Sergeant Cross, you are listed as deceased in official records. Prepare for escort." Aaron frowned. "Deceased," he muttered. "They erased me." The girl looked nervous. "They don't want us to come. They'll have to deal with it," Aaron said, guiding the pod down through the atmosphere. Fire surrounded the ship as it entered the sky. The ocean below grew larger and brighter. When the flames cleared, he saw a huge base on a lonely island. Gray towers rising from steel platforms. It was not the Earth he remembered. It looked colder, darker. The pod landed hard on a docking pad. Armed soldiers surrounded it, their weapons aimed. Their faces hidden behind helmets. Aaron opened the hatch slowly. Lifting his hands, "Don't shoot," he said. "There's a child with me." The commander stepped forward. "Sergeant Cross," she said. "Welcome back to Earth." Aaron recognized her. Commander Hale, one of his old allies. But her face was empty now. No warmth, only duty. "We need to take the child," Hale said, "for testing and protection." Aaron stepped in front of her. "No, she stays with me." "That's not a request," Hale said. "You know the protocol." "I also know when protocol is wrong," Aaron replied. The soldiers raised their rifles. The child hid behind him, clutching his jacket. Her voice was shaking. "Aaron, please don't let them take me." He turned slightly toward her. "I promise," he said softly. "I won't." Then he faced Hale again. "What are you people doing? You know what they were doing on Velmora." "You know about the experiments." Hale's eyes darkened. "Yes," she said. "Because it was our plan too." Aaron's breath caught. What the hybrid program began on Earth. The Elvarians only continued it, humanity's next evolution, half human. "Half alien," she said coldly. "You're not a hero, Aaron. You're a sample." Aaron felt rage burn through him. "You've lost your mind, maybe," Hale said. "But at least we'll survive." Two soldiers stepped forward. Trying to grab the child, Aaron moved fast. Hitting one in the helmet and throwing the other aside, he grabbed the child's hand and ran. Sirens blaring again. "Stop them," Hale shouted. "They can't leave the base." Aaron sprinted through the narrow corridors, past flashing red lights and metal walls. The girl ran beside him, silent and strong. They reached the hangar where several small ships were parked. Aaron spotted a maintenance craft and jumped in. The girl followed, slamming the door shut. He powered the engines, alarms screaming around them. Unauthorized takeoff, the computer warned. "I don't care," Aaron shouted, and launched the ship into the sky. As they rose higher, explosions shook the base below. Anti-air cannons firing, but the ship slipped through the clouds, disappearing into the blue. The child sat beside him, breathing hard. "Where are we going now?" she asked. Aaron looked at the stars ahead. "Somewhere they can't find us." She turned to him. "Will we ever be safe?" He smiled faintly. Maybe not safe, but free, as Earth faded below them. The stars opened wide again. He didn't know where they were heading. But he knew one thing: the fight was far from over, and in the reflection of the glass, he saw the child's eyes glowing brighter than before, like she was becoming something more, something powerful. The ship drifted through the dark side of Earth's orbit, silent and hidden among the stars. Aaron Cross sat in the cockpit, eyes tired but focused. Beside him, the hybrid child slept under a thin blanket, her small hands glowing faintly in the dim light. Every few seconds, the radar blinked red, showing the distant movement of human patrol ships. Aaron had been flying for almost 2 days. Low power, low signals, no contact. He had thought returning to Earth would bring safety. But now he knew the truth: his own people were the enemy. The child stirred and opened her silver eyes. "Are we still running?" she asked softly. Aaron looked at her and nodded. "Yes." "We can't stop yet." "Why are they chasing us?" she said. "They're humans, like you." Aaron hesitated, his voice quiet, "because they want control, not peace. They want to own everything they don't understand." She looked down. "Like me," he sighed. "Yes, but I won't let them have you." Suddenly, a warning flashed across the screen. Energy signature detected. Source: Earth Command Satellite Network. Aaron cursed under his breath. "They found us." He turned off the ship's main lights and activated the manual controls. The engines hummed quietly, pushing them toward the far side of the moon. A few minutes later, a human patrol cruiser appeared on the radar. "Moving fast? We have to hide," Aaron said. He guided the ship toward an abandoned mining base built inside the moon's surface. It was old and forgotten, but maybe it still worked. The landing was rough, dust rising around the craft. The lights inside flickered, then went out completely. Aaron unstrapped himself and took the child's hand. "Stay close. Don't make a sound," he whispered. They moved through the dark tunnels of the base, metal walls cold and cracked. In the distance, something beeped quietly, a faint rhythm like a heartbeat. Aaron followed it, hoping to find power, or maybe a way out. After several turns, they reached a large control room covered in dust. Screens flickered weakly, still alive after years of silence. Aaron brushed off a console and pressed a few keys. The system powered up, showing an old Earth's command logo. He froze. The base wasn't abandoned. It was one of the hidden research stations used during the war, and the files inside were still active. The child climbed onto a chair beside him. "What is this place?" she asked. Aaron scrolled through the data, reading the titles. Project Genesis, hybrid weaponry. Neural control. His face darkened. This was all built before the peace treaty. He opened one file. It was marked with his own name subject, H01, Aaron Cross. The description made his stomach twist. Human host selected for genetic compatibility. DNA extraction authorized by Earth Council. Status: successful transfer to Alvarian Command. He read further. Purpose: creation of hybrid offspring capable of dual environment adaptation and cognitive merging. Aaron stepped back, shock freezing his voice. "They sent me to Valmora on purpose. They used me as the first donor." The child looked at him, confused and frightened. "You mean they planned me?" Aaron turned toward her, eyes soft but sad. No, they planned something else. You were the only thing they didn't expect. Before he could say more, the base lights flashed red again. Intruder alert, the AI announced. Approaching vessel detected. Aaron ran to the window and saw the patrol cruiser landing outside. He turned back to the console. Typing quickly, I can send a message, a warning to everyone. But I need more time. The child nodded. I'll help. She placed her hand on the console, and to his surprise, the system reacted instantly. Codes filled the screen, circuits glowing under her touch. I can feel it, she said softly. The machine listens to me. Aaron stared in disbelief. You're interfacing with it? You're connecting directly. She smiled faintly. It's easy. It feels like talking. Then the AI's voice changed tone. Security override complete. Message channel open. Aaron leaned forward and spoke. This is Sergeant Aaron Cross. If anyone hears this, know that Earth Command is lying. They are creating hybrids for war, not peace. They used us. They used me. He sent the message across multiple frequencies. Then the screen went black. The child's glow faded, and she looked weak. Aaron caught her before she fell. You did good, he whispered. But before they could rest, the door burst open. Human soldiers in black armor stormed in. The same unit from Earth's island base, Commander Hale, at the front. You really are hard to kill, she said coldly. Aaron stood in front of the girl. You got what you wanted, he said. You already won your war. Hal shook her head. Not yet. We need her alive. She's the key. Her mind is the bridge between species. She's a child, Aaron growled. Not your bridge. She's humanity's future, Hale replied. Whether you like it or not, Aaron's hand moved toward the console. Pressing one last command, the AI spoke again. Self-destruct sequence activated. Hale's eyes widened. You wouldn't dare, Aaron smiled. Try me. He lifted the child into his arms, and they ran through the side corridor. Alarms screaming again. Hale shouted orders. Soldiers chasing after them. They reached an escape hatch, leading to a small maintenance ship. Aaron climbed inside, the girl beside him, and launched just as the base exploded behind them. The shockwave pushed the ship forward, spinning into space as the fire faded. The child looked at him, her voice trembling. You destroyed them. Aaron shook his head. No. I destroyed what they built. She looked out the window, her eyes glowing brighter than before. Then what happens now? Aaron stared at the stars ahead, his voice low. Now we stop running. Asterisk the stars stretched endlessly across the dark. The small ship drifted silently through space. Its engines weak, but still alive. Aaron Cross sat in the pilot seat, his face pale under the flickering lights. Beside him, the hybrid child slept again. Her breathing soft, her silver eyes glowing faintly, even behind closed lids. He had no idea where they were heading. The map showed nothing but empty sectors. No colonies, no signals, only black space and silence. But for the first time in a long while, Aaron felt something close to peace. He had escaped Earth, escaped the experiments, escaped both sides of the war. Still, a small red light blinked on the console. Low energy reserves, the AI said. Power failure in 2 hours. Aaron exhaled slowly. Of course, he muttered. He looked at the sleeping child. You deserve better than this, he whispered. You deserve a life. Not a fight, she stirred, opening her eyes. Are we safe now? She asked quietly. Aaron smiled weakly. Safe enough for now. Her eyes glowed brighter. I can fix the ship, she said suddenly. Aaron frowned. You? How? She placed her hand on the metal floor. The circuits around her pulsed with light, and the ship's power slowly returned. The AI spoke again. Energy core recharged. System stable. Aaron looked at her in amazement. You just powered it. The girl nodded. It listens to me. Machines do. Aaron stared for a long time. Realizing she wasn't just human or alien, she was something new. Something greater. You're not like them, he said softly. You're the next step. She looked out the window at the stars. Then why does everyone want to hurt me? Because they fear what they don't understand, Aaron replied. But fear never lasts forever. Before they could speak again, the radar beeped. Incoming transmission. The AI announced. Aaron's hand froze over the controls. From where? Unknown origin. Source: intergalactic frequency. The speakers crackled. And then a familiar voice echoed through the cabinet. Was Rena. Aaron, if you can hear me, please listen, she said. Her voice steady but full of sorrow. The council has fallen. Earth Command is in chaos. The truth you sent went public. Everyone knows now. Aaron's heart skipped. She did it, he whispered. The message worked, Rena continued. But that's not the end. The council activated something called the Final Protocol. It's a purge system meant to erase all hybrid life, including the child. Aaron gritted his teeth. They want to kill her, yes, Rena said. Every hybrid across both worlds has been marked for termination. The system activates in 6 hours. It's controlled by the core satellite above Mars. Aaron's eyes narrowed. Then that's where we're going. The defenses are too strong, Rena warned. You won't survive an attack alone. Aaron looked at the girl. I'm not alone, he said quietly. The signal cut off, leaving static in the air. The child looked at him. You're going to fight again? Aren't you? Aaron nodded. One last time, the ship turned toward the red glow of Mars. The engines roared, stars streaking past as they flew toward the core satellite. A massive station floating above the planet like a black crown. As they approached, hundreds of defense drones activated. Their weapons glowing blue, the AI warned. Multiple targets detected. Aaron gripped the controls. We'll make it, he said. Hold tight. The child placed her hands on the console. Her eyes blazed silver, and suddenly the drones froze in space. Aaron watched in disbelief as the machines turned away. Clearing a path for their ship. You're controlling them, he said. They don't want to fight, she said softly. They're tired. Just like you, the ship passed through the barrier and reached the station. They landed near the main control tower. Aaron grabbed a plasma rifle and opened the hatch. Stay behind me, he said. The child followed silently. The halls of the station were cold and empty. Machines hummed around them, and glowing panels covered the walls. They reached the central chamber where a massive core pulsed with red light. The AI voice from the station echoed around them. Final protocol activating in 5 minutes. Aaron stepped forward, aiming the rifle at the control unit. How do we stop it? He asked. The girl looked at the glowing core. I can stop it, she said. But if I do, I might not come back. Aaron turned to her sharply. No, there has to be another way. She smiled softly. You gave me life, Aaron. Let me give something back. Before he could stop her, she placed her hands on the core. Light exploded around the room, blinding and beautiful. Her voice echoed through the air. Don't be afraid, Aaron shouted. Stop. You'll burn yourself out. But she didn't move. The red light turned white. The alarms silenced. The AI spoke again. Final protocol canceled. Aaron ran forward and caught her as she collapsed. Her glow was fading, but she was still breathing. He held her tight, whispering, You did it. You saved them all. She opened her eyes weakly. Did I do good? Aaron smiled through tears. You did perfect. Outside, the drones powered down. The stars over Mars glowed bright and across the galaxy. Hybrid children woke from sleep unharmed. Reena's voice came through again. Aaron, it's over. You won. He looked down at the girl. No. She did. He carried her back to the ship, placed her gently in the seat, and launched into space again. As Mars grew smaller behind them, he whispered, "The world will fear you now. But someday they'll understand humanity isn't dying. It's evolving." The child's hand moved slightly. Resting on his, her voice was soft. "Where are we going?" Aaron smiled. Looking at the stars ahead. "Home," he said. "A real one this time." And as the ship vanished into the endless sky, the stars seemed to shine brighter, as if the universe itself was watching the birth of something new. Something powerful, something truly human.